Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel! Long time no see, guys, or at least for me, it feels like it's been a long time no see. I've been away for a minute, but I am literally really excited for what I'm gonna tell you guys today. And basically I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I am going to start uploading on my channel 5 days a week. Whoa! Woo! 5 days a week! I am really excited. If you have been on my channel for a long time, you know that back in the day, I used to upload, dude, seriously, between my 3 channels, I would upload minimum 8 videos a week, all the way up to like 15 videos a week, depending on what I was doing on my different channels. And over the years, I have stopped uploading as much for like a ton of different reasons. Like I could make a whole video talking about just like the way that YouTube has evolved and the way that my taste has evolved and the different things that I've been trying out and going through over the years. And bottom line is, I am really excited to be getting back to a 5-day-a-week upload schedule. I am actually going to start doing some series on my channel so that you guys can kind of have a little bit of an idea of what to expect. For example, Tea Talks. You guys know that I brought Tea Talk onto my main channel from the gang, and I'm going to start putting Tea Talks up here every Monday. Or on Tuesdays, I'm going to be doing a cooking show that you will find out about tomorrow that I'm really excited about the name. You already know what it is if you've been on social media. But bottom line is, I am really excited. And so today is a tea talk, and I actually filmed this tea talk all around the topic of school. I will see you guys tomorrow, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday. Let's do it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tea Talk.
See, I already knew exactly what to say.
I feel like it's cheating because you've done a couple of these.
I know, but still, I felt really proud of myself.
Cheers to Tea Talk.
Yeah!
Cha-ching! Hey guys, what's up? So, for today's Tea Talk, I obviously have a guest with me.
Hello.
We've got Maddie. I almost called you Maddie Miller. There are too many M's in my life. MaddyMcQ.
Hello.
And if you don't know Maddie and you've never seen her channel, I'm gonna link it down below because she's an awesome YouTuber. And we just did a really awesome spelling bee challenge over on her channel.
It was hilarious.
On little one dance.
Got a jalapeno in my pants.
One more time, here I go.
Gonna get another jalapeno
Yo.
to go.
So, today on Tea Talk, guys, you're just gonna have to bear with us because we were a little bit antsy. Mason and Melissa are behind the camera throwing their heads in their hands. I think they're embarrassed of us / ashamed.
I have been like consistently consuming caffeine
Since 4 a.m., right?
4 a.m. today, so I'm a little bit out of control.
Winning!
Who knows what's gonna happen? This is gonna be the most out of control
Tea Talk ever! Yeah! Here we go. So this is appropriate though because today we're talking about school, aka escuela.
Escuela.
Yeah, that's school in Spanish, escuela. So
Right? Right? Isn't it?
Escuela. Here's the deal. First off, we're drinking our standard standby tea. This is the Paradise Tropical Passion Iced Tea.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so good. We're drinking it in our NikkiPhillippi cups. And just like usual, if you want to buy my NikkiPhillippi cup, I have the link down below in the info box. And you can purchase your very own NikkiPhillippi cup. And then when we do these very long tea talks, you can sit there, you can sip tea with us, and
like cheers
instantly
the screen.
feel smarter.
Cheers that screen.
Cheers! Great job, guys. So today we're pulling questions, like I said, related to school. So I'm gonna jump right in. And should I pull the first question or should I guess?
We both asked on our Instagrams.
Oh, you asked on your Instagram too?
I did.
Okay, so I'll start with the first question then.
You take it away.
This says, oh, this was a good one. At a Scotty04 says, how to deal with having 2 different groups of friends that aren't really friends with each other. Ascani, that is hard. So
that is a really hard thing to have to deal with.
Yeah. I feel like it depends on like your age group. Like I feel like it's a lot easier the older you get because I feel like people tend to start to respect the fact that like not everybody's best friends with everyone else.
I was gonna say the complete opposite actually.
Really?
It got like worse and worse and worse.
It did?
Because for me, so I was on a sports team in high school and I also had a group of friends that weren't really like into sports. They weren't really like doing anything with their life. That sounds kind of awful to say, but it was
just weren't like, they didn't have a certain thing they were working towards.
Exactly. So they weren't very supportive of me when I would have to go and like hang out with my sports friends for like team stuff. They would get like really offended by that and they just wouldn't respect me like in that way, which was like kind of annoying and it doesn't really make any sense now, of course, but
back then it was hard.
Back then it was really hard and I was trying to make it work, but like obviously I had to choose my team because Yeah.
Because you do.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really interesting. I was thinking about this the other night, just about life in general, because I think that when you're out of school, this problem can still kind of be a problem based on, what I mean by that is like in, not real life, but kind of like outside of school in real life, the same thing kind of happens. Like some friends decide to go off and all have babies and they're in mommy groups. And sometimes your friends go off and they're all having their career and that's what they're focusing on. And so point being, to bring this back to school, I think that in some ways it's a lifelong thing. I just think in other ways maybe there's not as much harassment the older you get about it.
That's true.
But what I would say, to circle back without going off on a tangent, because I always go on a tangent on these tea talks, I feel like you just have to do what's best for you and choose to ignore, like, without lack of better words, like the haters.
Yeah, and I guess
Not the
just
right
like
word, but-
just try and like find a balance.
Yeah.
You know, because like if I even relate that to my life now, I have most of my friends in like the YouTube world, but then I also have friends who don't really understand it. So it's like also just trying to hang out with them and like, I don't know.
If you just kind of let it roll off your back in the sense of like, oh great, like you hang with your group of friends and they maybe don't know the other group of friends, but you want to go see the other group of friends, not making such a huge deal out of it, like letting it just be like, cool, I'm gonna go hang with my other friends, and not highlighting it can sometimes have other people, like it can change their attitude too. So sometimes I notice that the way that I treat things will affect how other people will treat it. So if you change the way that maybe you're treating it, that can help sometimes too.
My turn.
All right.
So I have a really hilarious question. Macy Opelt, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. How do you hide tampons?
That's such a good question.
I have some great hiding places because I was like really anal about like people seeing the fact that I had
You had a
them.
period?
But my greatest hiding place was actually here.
I knew that.
My boob.
I knew that's what you were gonna say. I was like, are you gonna say your boobs?
However, I have a horror story. So one day, I had it in my sports bra actually, and it was kind of like hanging out. Well, a girl points across the room and goes, "Maddie, did you put toilet paper in your bra?" So then everybody thought that I stuffed my bra in high school.
Did you tell this story in your channel?
Yes, I
was gonna
did.
say, I'm like, wait, this is all coming back to me.
Yeah, it was.
And then you're like, how do I back out of this? Like, it's not. I didn't stuff my bra. It's my tampon.
So then basically, I had to tell people like, "No, I don't stuff my bra. It's my tampon. I have my period." Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like, oh
God, school
That
brings
was
the
awful.
funnest memories.
wow. And that was like my senior year in high school. No, yeah, that was my senior year in high school. I was like, just when you think people are growing up, ready to be on their own, be like an actual adult, yeah,
not.
I was wrong. I was very, very wrong.
You know what I'll say though? It's funny to hear someone ask, like, how do you hide your tampons? Because on the flip side, like, there's kind of just no winning, and it comes down to the fact that it's all like a mental thing in your head. Because when I was in high school, I didn't get my period till I was 18. And
Really?
so when now, great, you did not know that about me? Melissa's face.
I
just got
think
really...
that's like the oldest I've ever heard.
Yep, didn't get it till I was 18. It was like the
Dang,
week of my
girl.
18th birthday. And I remember, I didn't go to public school, but I had a lot of friends in public school. And I remember one day I was at a show at one of the high schools out here. And my friend said to me, like, I was talking to this guy, and this guy was like flirting with me. And we're just like having fun. And she literally turned around and was like, how did she word this? She basically said something to the effect of like, well, you're not even a real woman. You haven't even had your period yet. And I remember I was like, all of the blood left me from the top of my head, just like, speaking of blood, yeah, it all like fell straight to
Speaking of blood, no.
I literally was like,
Jason's like, ugh.
it was so humiliating because I was just like vibing with this dude at this show, and then she turned around and brought up the most awkward, uncomfortable, like, thinking back to this
Girls
day,
can
I'm
be
like,
so awful.
what was wrong with you? Like, so all of that to say, back to that question, like, if you're concerned about hiding your tampons, it kind of goes to show you, like, there's really no winning, because then I was being made fun of for not having my period by someone I considered a friend. So, is this depressing?
I mean, no.
So, there's no winning. Sorry, kids.
But also a couple other ways, if you're wearing a long sleeve shirt, just kind of hide it like here and then kind of like hold your sleeve. That was always a good one.
Or in the back of your jeans where your shirt covers, just like, and then like cover your shirt over it.
Yeah, if you're wearing like really tall shoes, you can stick it like in here. I don't know if you guys can see me right now, but like right here.
We're getting creative with all the hiding spots for tampons.
I definitely,
I'm starting to think about like drugs, like.
I definitely have more, but I can't think of them. Those are like my top 3.
Thanks for your cue. That was our A.
Thanks for your cue. You're so welcome for your A, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so the next question, I really hope everyone forgives us for how hyped up I we are. We're real, like,
Also,
psyched on life.
Also, when her and I ever, like, hang out, we're always just like,
I need one dance. That's what we're always like. At Megan Weaver wants to know, how do you deal with bad teachers and drama? IOYSM, heart, hashtag T-Talk.
Heart. I had a horrible teacher. I'm not about to say his name because that would be mean, and I'm not a mean person. The reason he hated me was because he hated my sister or my brother. It was one of them.
One of your siblings.
Yeah, so he, of course, like, thought, well...
Here's another McQ coming down the pipe.
Exactly. So, he absolutely hated me. It got to a point where I thought that he was purposely giving me, like, horrible grades, even though I would work so hard. My advice to you on that, get your mom involved, because my mom, like, saved me in that situation, because there's only so much you can do as a student, you know. You only have so much power, I guess you could say. So when I got my mom involved, he was like, I'm so sorry, like, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, so he stopped after your mom stepped in.
Yeah, and I ended up getting an A.
Yeah. All that hard work paid off.
Yeah.
Dude, my mom got involved with a bad teacher, but the school didn't do anything.
Really?
And so I ended up leaving the school. That's when I went homeschool. That's when I became homeschooled.
I think you told me that once. That's right.
Yeah, because she tried to tell the principal, my parents, and they basically believed the teacher over me, which was stupid because like 6 students left the school that year. So there was like clearly from that class, so there was an issue.
Oh.
But either way, having my parents get involved brought some kind of solution. So whatever the solution is, I think she's right that there is only so much you can do as a student. If a teacher is legitimately, because teachers are just people. So sometimes teachers just they might have it out for you. They might not like you. Now, that's not fair to always think if a teacher's being a certain way to you, they have it out for me. But sometimes that was genuinely the case in my case. My teacher was cheating on my grades. Basically, long story short, my mom started turning in my schoolwork for me because she didn't believe that I was turning it in because my grades were so bad.
So smart.
And so she was like, watch, I'm going to turn it in and your grades are going to magically go up. But the teacher didn't know it was my mom turning it in. And so my grades were still down. My mom's like, what the heck?
So they were caught in the act then.
And then she brought it in like late one day and caught the teacher. Like the teacher had me at the front of the classroom holding my ear and she was like basically calling me stupid in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And my mom walked in and was like, what? And so that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty. And my mom was like, kids, get out! You're excused for recess! So that was like the gist of the story.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that really
That's
was.
so amazing of your mom to do.
I know, and then I was homeschooled.
Like, yeah!
Is basically what happened. Yeah, my mom was like, well, what do we have to lose? I'm kind of going off on a side tangent, back to the questions, but point being, having parents involved I don't think is ever really a bad thing.
Yeah.
So, you want to pick a question?
Sure! Your husband asks, wait, where is it?
NikkiPhillippi.
What if you have to pee, but the teacher won't let you go?
Oh, no!
Oh, man.
You go.
You have an issue.
No, you go. I have like an authority issue. I'm like, if that teacher tells you can't pee, you get up and you leave.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
Like,
you're like, I have to pee.
Go, you have to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maddie would listen and stay in the seat. That's what she's about to say.
I would listen, but I was kind of a rebel in school, and I would always, like, ask to leave, and my teacher would always be like, yeah, sure, but I wouldn't actually go to the bathroom. I would just go and hang out with my friends.
Okay, I have a urination issue, and my teacher would never let me go.
And then this one time that I did actually have to go, she was like, I heard that you were just going to hang out with your friends, and I was like, no, I really have to pee. And then she was like, no, sit down. And then I was too scared to stand up for myself, so I was like, okay. And then I had to wait until the entire period was over.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was really sad.
Crazy. Yeah, dude, I always had to pee. We all know that's why the bottom of my cup says
I have to pee.
Because I pee all the time, and my teacher
that.
never believed me.
I'm so happy that you put that underneath. It was like, that's so Nikki.
It's so me. And so it was pretty traumatizing in school when teachers would try to tell me that I couldn't go. This is good because I got 2 questions that are like basically the same, so we can like put them both in.
Okay.
So the first one was from @march2vh.x. I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah, totally.
How do you survive at a new school when you are shy? And then @Eliza, and you said you love my videos. Thank you. And then @Eliza Nakvi says, I'm going to a new school and I'm very shy. Do you have any tips on making friends?
There it is. I hadn't ever had to experience that. I was always pretty consistently like at a new school. And then when I went from like 8th grade to high school, I still had all of my friends from my school. So like we all just went with each
Yeah,
other.
it's the same people.
So I still knew everybody at my school. So I had never had to like transfer or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I did have social anxiety. So, but I don't really have any advice on that because I just kind of learned to get over it, honestly.
I think that's really good advice because I think a lot of people are looking for like a solution for the feeling, and I think there's a lot of feelings that you can't really change unless you just push through it, and then sometimes the feeling follows. Because I feel like most people would call me a really outgoing person, but I deal with social anxiety like a lot, like still to this day.
Me too. It's just not as like prominent, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's still kind of prominent for me. It's still like a thing. But like what Maddie said is completely true. I've realized I'm 29 years old. I've dealt with this forever. So it's just a matter of pushing past it and being like, dude, oh well, like what are you gonna do? And as far as like actually making new friends, the piece of advice that I always give people to, because if you're gonna push through it and get over it, then it's like, well, how do I make the friends?
Yeah.
You go up and you talk to people. You literally insert yourself in situations. It might be awkward, and if you go in accepting, like, I'm gonna literally put myself in awkward situations today, and I'm just gonna insert myself there, like, and you already accept that it's gonna be awkward, then you just do it, and that's how you get to know people. And if you're like, well, what do I talk about? A great thing to talk about is just asking people questions. Like, when you think about how much you don't know about people.
So true.
Like, oh, well, how long have you been going to this school? Like, oh, what classes are you in? Like, are you in any sports teams? Like, do you have any siblings? Who are your friends? Do your siblings go here? Like, what's been your favorite class? Like, there's so many things you don't know about the people around you that, like, asking people questions, I think, is the solution to making friends and going, okay, it's going to be awkward. I'm going to do this anyways, and I'm going to ask questions. I think that's, like, the remedy to pushing past shyness. But I don't know if you'll ever get over shyness.
Yeah,
you might, but
if you just stop hiding from it, I promise you it'll be worth it, because that was what I did, and I feel like I'm not as scared of it.
Yeah, because you already know that like the fear isn't coming to fruition. You just push past it.
Yeah. This next one comes from Emma Graham X. How do you deal with mean girls?
/ bullies.
Unfortunately, it's quite a common thing. This world is not perfect, especially in school. Her and I can relate this to like you two, because we still have to deal with this kind of stuff, unfortunately. I don't think it's something that anybody ever grows out of.
I was just literally what I was going to say is I feel like part of handling bullies and like mean people is also kind of flipping like the mirror, I don't know if that's a word, like back on yourself, and realizing or being aware that I think everyone is just mean sometimes. And so I think that when like culture talks about all this bullying and like stuff like that, I'm like, isn't that just like human nature, and hasn't this just like been a thing forever, and won't it just continue to be a thing forever?
Yeah.
And it's good that people are noticing it, and we should all work on improvement, but I feel like it's almost dangerous when people point to bullying as something out there.
Yeah.
It's like, what about within? What about the times when I talk about people behind their back? What about the times... Yeah, or when I've said something and I see in someone's eyes like, oh my gosh, that wasn't received as a joke, like maybe that was mean, or like a cultural difference, or like thinking you could say something, like I just said about a joke, like, oh yes, it's fine, and then you realize, oh, that was
maybe
fresh,
that
or maybe that wasn't taken
the
as
best
a
thing
joke.
to say. Yeah.
Or, dude, straight up, I've left situations before and gotten home and just been like, dude, that was kind of mean of me. Like, why did I do that? And like reflecting, and I think that gives you, oh my god, the prettiest bird just flew.
I know, I just saw that.
That was pretty majestic.
I know.
I think it gives you a little more grace for bullies too, and it helps their stuff not to sting if you can like self-examine when you've done it, because it helps you maybe realize like, maybe they made a mistake. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they were hurting. Maybe it was a joke.
Yeah.
Maybe they wish they could take it back. Maybe if you said it to their face, they'd be like, oh my god, I didn't mean to hurt you. You know, you just don't know. And I feel like another thing too is like when you think about those things that have hurt you, it's a good motivation to try to include other people and to be nice and reach out to other people. But yeah, I think that's a big one, is like self-reflection of the times like maybe that you've been mean or haven't meant to hurt someone, and just knowing like, okay, it starts with me and I just need to control what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Like you just said. So I feel like there was something else I was gonna say and I can't remember, so it couldn't have been that important.
Maybe it was, though.
All I know is that going into this school year, I really hope you guys all have a great school year. I think that I really feel like this is going to be an exciting year, And I just want to speak really positively over everyone that this is going to be a good year and that I think everyone is going to do a really great job in school and learn a lot and feel motivated. And I'm stoked for them, aren't you?
Yeah.
Got a jalapeno in my pants. One more time, here I go. Gonna take a hold on me. Yeah.
That was the weirdest high five.
I like how we
It
just
was like a slow, and then we both at the same time went.
got a jalapeno in my pants. I think I just rubbed my smelly armpit on her.
Oh, that's amazing.
She's got vitamins all over her, smelly armpit sweater.
I want to leave this house. I'm just kidding.
Please, someone let me out. That's it. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys liked today's extremely weird, extremely caffeinated episode of Tea Talk.
Hashtag Tea Talk.
Hashtag Tea Talk.
Gotta have the hashtag.
Gotta have the hashtag and all the jalapenos. Be sure to go over to Maddy's channel and check out the Spelling Bee challenge that we did over there. Subscribe to Maddy. She's amazing.
And then also, if you're coming over from my channel, make sure to subscribe to Nikki. She's amazing. She is one of my favorite people on this entire earth.
All right, guys. So we will see you soon. And yeah, I'll see you next time with Tea Talk.
Bye.
Bye, guys.